With this opportunity. When we are doing any consumer immersion program, it is to understand consumer, what he values, what is his priority, and how we can get advantage of those values and priorities. So what I saw during this entire activity is that price and economy is their top priority. This is what they find is the most important piece. Then there is a taste piece and then there is a quantity. These are the top three things. If I have to put anything, any brand from my side, I will take care whether these three things are meeting those criteria or not. If it is there, I will put it in the rural piece. So that is there. Social value, wholesale is the key channel which is helping. If I have to win in this geography, probably I have to take the help of wholesalers. So then there is a social value which is now it is emerging. They are talking about that fine, it is a Facebook and all these are there. But digitally probably it is not impacting them so much because their values are something which is holding back. It is not allowing them to go up, neither it is allowing them to go down, they are using it. So this is something, but it is of no use as of now. Maybe going forward we can take the help of social media and get advantages while doing our marketing and planning trade inputs out. Choices are very less in this market. Whatever you will offer, make available, maybe it is something which will sell. Trials are very less. Media impact, although we are doing media, but the impact is very hardly I have found anybody who is talking about this. I remember this ad. I know that this is the catch line. So वो मेरे को दिखा नहीं. So while deciding my business opportunity, these are my top priority. This is my top channel. Probably media piece, I will look some other traditional option. So this is something.
If I have to add to this, to relate what we have gone through the first day, when you were talking about top 70% of the village what you 60% of focus. That's all. If I have to relate it to that, when I visited yesterday, yeah, that was a 5,000 population village. I was 6,000 population village, but I can see huge number of outlets or any awareness of brand. But there is something for today's market, which is a freedom market. I think that is somewhere we need to tap. You can always relate that. It's very clearly coming out that this is the village where you can influence for the smaller village to purchase also. Because these are the people who come here and buy. So any activities to be done, I think it is where this top villages instead of running around all the smaller villages, which is clearly coming out from yesterday's and today's result. What else we have put it on that? And apart from that, you said, and availability, yes.
Awareness.
Awareness, yes. Awareness, what we see is that as he has rightly put it, that media, whenever you discuss with any of the people, nobody remembers what ad they are seeing. Even yesterday's ad, they don't remember any brand. What they remember is only Salman Khan, they're talking about Coke. Yeah, so that is the only thing which is coming up. Because there is that celebrity plays a very important role. And apart from that, I don't think any of the brands will. And what is the other means of you, for you to create awareness and generate demand is perhaps some kind of wall painting or some participate in an art activity. That's something, the action which we need to do it in terms of creating some kind of a buzz and more importantly the top 17%.
So I just want to add something to what you said. In our case, awareness was there, especially amongst kids. So what we saw in our group of kids was if they're watching Discovery, they know if they're watching Man vs. Wild. When we asked them about advertisements, there was a girl who described a full Pears ad that she sees the mother, the daughter wakes up, it's like an angel. She described it in the way the kids described it very nicely. Second thing, there was another child who described his full ad of Dar Ke Aage Mountain View, and there was another kid who gave the timelines for Salman Khan. आज कुछ तूफानी करते हैं and thumbs up etc. So in our case, we were amazed by the kind of brand awareness.
Basically, bottom line, you named the category and they were able to list 5 brands in the category. They were able to recall the ads, not exactly perfectly in a way, perhaps the way you were kind of propaganding, but what they had complete awareness of the brand. Yeah, absolutely.
Aspirational.
In every category, be it in chocolate, be it in the energy or cold drinks category, whatever, be it in sex soaps category. They were aware of the L'Oreal product, they were aware of the 5 stars. But it's much natural now. We are saying कि DDH की penetration DDH की इतनी ज़्यादा हो गई है. TV सब बच्चे देख रहे हैं, they know the program. तो ये तो वो नहीं होगा.
There was some Candy-licious ad also which they mentioned. That ad, and then that they mentioned 5 toffees, but my favorite is only Pears. And there was somebody else who said I only have Sprite and Limca. And even in
I like the
toothpaste,
taste of it.
also they were very particular.
So Parle
हमने
21 is my
बताया कि
favorite
yes,
biscuit.
this happened
Falana
in
is my
our-
favorite toffee. Falana Tumkana is my favorite 5-star Cadbury Dairy Milk. So exact price point and name of the brand की यही number 1.
And
They might consume 5, but
some
it's
of them were saying कि हम mango flavor
नहीं,
लेते हैं,
this is-
candies etc. But there were few were very particular. Like this girl who said Sunsilk Pink shampoo I use, and I moved to L'Oreal shampoo after that. I wanted it, so my mother has got it for me, and it's my hair.
You will be true, but I'm coming, where I'm coming, I'm not trying to be a little biased or that.
We experienced this. We had a completely different experience.
Person whom you met, your experiences are like that.
No, it is not. It's not the same experience which you had. It depends how you ask the question. If you will ask what ad you see on TV, you will not get the answer.
We are not asked that.
If
You
you ask
don't correct any of the ads, any of the brands.
thumbs up का ad देखा है क्या? If you ask क्या this thumbs up का ad कौन सा आता है? They will tell you. Whole ad they will tell you. अच्छा वो ad में ad is not see.
It's all about experience which you have. That's all.
Group also who were very quiet. Maybe they had come from another group. There were one or two who were just absolutely mum and were not responding. And there were 3-4 who were very active, proactively responding, and they wanted to. Some of them were also bragging. We use Axe also. We use this deodorant also.
Fog you use
So
करते हैं.
very good.
So for example, fog use करते हैं कि उसमें gas नहीं.
Which showed it their knowledge.
Let me finish our presentation like this. कि क्या होता है ना कि the kind of person you met and the experiences which you have, this is what we have discussed. Probably I agree with you that you must have seen, which is very starkly different what we have seen. So this is our experience as of now. What we are talking about, their priority from the lenses of trade input. As because what you do in a day-to-day life, you mostly go through that lenses. So when I will plan my trade input for rural going forward, what I will do, I will take the taste if they like the taste. Like you said ना कि पूछा फट से उन्होंने ये ब्रांड बताया, तो बोला अच्छा ठीक है ये टेस्ट उनकी प्रायोरिटी है, इसकी ट्रेड इनपुट करते वक्त I will go to 6K or I will go to 25K or I will go to suburbs or I will go to city. मेरी ट्रेड इनपुटिंग वैसे होगी. मैंने आइडिया बिजनेस अपॉर्चुनिटी इसीलिए बोला, आइडेंटिफाई बिजनेस अपॉर्चुनिटी. ये जितना भी हम देख रहे थे हमारी बिजनेस अपॉर्चुनिटी क्या है कि अगर आप पाते हो कि if the awareness is good, so fine, go ahead with the media plan. If you find that it is not working, don't waste money over there. Maybe you can plan consumer engagement, maybe you can plan trade engagement. कितना volume purchase करो, give you a sort of something, we will give you.
But there
हम
is
business
a
करेंगे.
huge influence of trade also, because the person who goes there and buying is not the woman, it's the man who goes there.
Yeah.
Yes.
99% of the people go there, the men. They go with the list and what has been written. And then the wholesaler, he has got a very high role of converting that the
Yes.
consumer on the brands.
And
And
there's something
If you
that
allow
we
me,
had.
ma'am, just to cut this long story short, our presentation is over. Finish your, we will have food.
Yes.
So, please, next. Because हम लोग सेल्स वाले ना डिस्कस शुरू किया तो खत्म नहीं हो
खत्म नहीं
जाएगा.
होगा.
खाना नहीं मिलेगा फिर.
Welcome, welcome. I will just keep it very clear. So what we have done, we have divided the learnings into 3 different parts. One is primarily from the structure of the rural economy, one is from the consumer angle, and one is from the payer angle. See, day 1 learnings primarily were in the form of overall structure of the rural economy. So all of us agree rural is a big opportunity, growth driver, all those kind of things, we completely agree. I think some of the insights which we came, I think, in terms of the bifurcation of the agricultural economy. So for example, it's not only about food grains, it's about horticulture, dairy, poultry, right? And their contribution is increasing over a period of time. So we need to realize, for example, currently what we don't understand, when you say rural, what comes to mind is the agriculture, right? What comes to mind is the food grain. So those were some of the insights which came. This whole sentiment factor, what happens when a monsoon fails, right? Because of the fact that absolute dependence on the food grain economy or the food grain agriculture is not perhaps the same what used to be 20 years back. So in terms of the real impact of the monetary terms is not that much. The impact comes more from the sentiment. And we were discussing that also, that the wholesale plays again a big role. Because then wholesale also plays the same sentiment factor. Ultimately, because he also perceives that okay, retailers keep flocking come on while he will also down the stock to a certain extent, right? Similarly, the same thing is being done by retailer who is actually sitting in your heart or in the particular village. So this whole sentiment will have kind of a multiplier factor effect on the sales which we have. And in terms
And not necessarily FMCG, but also then there is a hierarchy of purchase.
Absolutely. So monetary impact
It's the
effectively,
sentiment
yes,
impact.
it's more of a sentiment impact.
Yes.
Then this whole thing of keeping in mind this macroeconomic factor. So when we plan anything on the rural, we take the first cut, which is the population. Of course, we should do that. Population is a kind of a surrogate measure for the size of the economy. But let's say what we are talking about, think of factors like social indicators, right? School hai ya nahi hai, is yahan pe hospital hai ya nahi hai. They will give you some kind of, because remember what we are discussing, the kind of houses they have. That will give you a surrogate of the economy, right? So kind of give population or potential of the village, right? Because population will not only give you a direct kind of indicator in terms of what's the FMCG potential. All of us are ultimately working in FMCG environment. So if we use macroeconomic surrogates, we'll get kind of potential of the village. So that's basically the learning of the day one. Now coming to consumer and trade. Now the insights which we really got in terms of consumer, the role of the woman. We saw how disproportionate is the number of hours of women kind of spending in terms of workforce versus the urban market, right? We saw that data.
Did you bodies had this classroom experiment? They said that the woman workforce is increasing. Did you see that here?
No,
I didn't see
I
that.
had a, so they were
Maybe
not.
we went to the art-
Just a point there. See, the video which we are watching in the day one, that is the Punjab example. We went to a UP market, right?
Yeah.
So please keep that in mind. So one size fit all will not work. That's point number one. Even in the UP market where we went yesterday and today, women were not exactly going out in the field and doing farm work, but at least all the cattle work. हर का पूरा काम तो वो कर रही थी. So dairy वाला पूरा काम तो वही कर रही थी. She was not exactly doing in terms of food grain वाला work, but dairy वाला काम तो पूरा कर रही
I
थी.
just want to add over there. So what happened with us was the women were not very comfortable with them. So only Polly and I were in that interview. So most of them, so it depended on how differently their families are structured. There was one lady whose husband was outside in the city doing a job. So she was doing most of the work. But they do not own up कि हम agriculture करते हैं. They are still hesitant to say. But when we probed further, we figured out कि वो कर रही है उसके घर में, you know, she might have helpers, she has people employed to do it. So they were like, you know, sort of brushing it कि हाँ ये तो सिर्फ कटाई कराती, बाकी तो घर का ही काम है. So in their mind it's very clear that this is our role and we are doing the household work mostly and we are supporting our husband. Or we doing ठीक है काम है, extra काम है हम कर रहे हैं. But they will not say कि वो पूरा संभालते हैं. And mostly they were not working. Not working in the sense household work and cattle. उसको जो चारा खिलाना है, what's happening this thing, which we found here. There was a teacher who obviously is working separately, but इस village में they were not working so much. एक दो जिसकी situation फर्क थी, her husband is working in the city or elsewhere and he's not there, then she's taking the load with external support.
While planning anything, how
Yeah.
to apply this information?
Just coming
So,
to, I will come back to it in the last point, right? Just adding one more point. The more the number of government programs keeps on increasing in the rural areas, because ultimately they directly or indirectly engage with women. So, for example, any new government scheme getting launched, whether it's a state government scheme or a central government, the number of women working, for example, आंगनवाड़ी worker भी तो एक तरह का job ही है ना. So technically it will always go to a woman. So it will keep on increasing.
Even
At a disproportionate rate
pointing
compared
out
to
the
the
agriculture point, जो first day presentation में था कि more and more women are taking on agriculture. That I did not per se see yesterday because they all had husbands who were there at home who were doing agriculture, which is why we saw that they are still in that system of giving the list to the husband and he's doing the purchases. But Pan India, apart from this workshop, whatever I have traveled, I see a lot of women sitting at the shop. They sit for 4 hours, 5 hours at least in the day and contribute. अगर आदमी के पास shop भी है, agriculture भी है, whenever the husband goes out for any work, the wife sits at the shop, which means she's contributing and she's working. You will see a lot of women retailers in the marketplace. That's
The
it.
second point is this whole about this community versus I. So I versus we. So rural economy is very well knitted, right? So you have your folks living nearby. Whatever major decision you take, you will ultimately consult with them, and then only perhaps you will do a major bike paycheck. कोई भी example हो. But then there's a lot of individual brands which are picking up. So when we are interacting with the kid, for example, L'Oreal लगाना या Fog, Axe. So those again come back to individual choices. So there's a spectrum of brands or perhaps a spectrum of list of choices which will be decided based on the community feeling, and the spectrum of choices which will be decided based on the individual feeling. So both the world currently is existing that rural world today. Then this role of TV, DTH, I think all of us saw this. Media is quite well penetrated. Mobile is there, but I think usage of Facebook or WhatsApp awareness is very little and not to a great extent. And I think the village which we went was a kind of small village, 5,000 population. So maybe it might be there in the upper strata, but definitely not such a village.
Today we have seen that.
Today you saw that?
What?
Okay.
There's a control social media.
But there is aspiration. So in this
Yeah,
small
aspiration
village,
is
the
there,
best
it
house
is-
we went to, we later realized that they're very well off. The son said he wants an iPhone 6. But this is one of the most wealthiest household where at least he has 4 kids in the family studying in Vrindavan. And spending 3.5 lakhs of the education annually on the
Well
kids.
spent.
So very well off people, multiple tractors, multiple bikes, but he's saying मुझको iPhone 6 चाहिए, which means he has an awareness. That's
So
it.
that was the next point about aspiration and choice. So the last point is exactly what we were discussing 2 minutes back. So the brand awareness is there, category awareness is there, and we feel somehow it's leading to trials. What we need to understand, perhaps the adoption to an urban consumer level is not there, but definitely they are willing to make trials. Pasta खा रहे हैं, pizza खा रहे हैं, burgers खा रहे हैं. They might be branded, they might be commodity today, but somewhere down the line a brand will come with that kind of a product, right? So they're willing to try. That trial is there definitely, but adoption in terms of really becoming loyal to a particular brand is not there, and also that's linked to availability. So that's
So-
all.
It's a generic which is working, not the brand.
And that's another one small point, actually, sorry, which I want to add in the evolving consumer. There was a point day before where they said individualized joint families. We saw that throughout. Whatever households we went to, kitchen tha. And choices also, some of them were being made jointly. But some people were also saying उसको बाइक लेना है, उसको अगर पसंद है, साथ में जाएगा फादर बेटा डिसाइड कर लेंगे, बट हम ही खर्चा करेंगे, हम ही दिलाएंगे. So they are also shifting a little bit towards individual decision making. जिसको चाहिए उसकी पसंद पूछ लो. Let him be happy. That was slightly different from what was discussed yesterday. It is collective also at some stages for technology. I think it is breaking away. Asking who wants the end user what you want, depending on the money. And secondly, we only found one household in the end, जो proper joint family था. But mostly individualized joint family concept was breaking.
One interesting point was that the day one Karthik Rana said that if at all any brand goes out rural, coming back it's not so easy. And it's, as he rightly said, there is awareness of the category of the brand. I have to relate to my brand. They are very well aware of the brand, but there are a lot of inhibitions because bring back that and what do we do with it? There's a lot
You
of
come to it in the last point and just give a couple of examples also from my previous experience as well. So from the trade point of view, I think we all of us agree one size fit all will not work. So you have a feeder market concept, you have a wholesale model concept, you have a sub-D, you have an RSP, and then you have a direct hub and spoke model kind of thing, right? Depending upon the market, depending upon your geography, population size, local indicators, you can decide. Now, the second point being role of innovative methods. Remember Karthik Rana talked about this Manihari thing. Just give an example. So 5 years back, I was setting rural network in Bihar. So we appointed around about 1,500 rural sub-distributors in Bihar. That's a huge number, right? Now the second question was how do you generate demand? Bihar being a media dark market and it has influence from the northwestern media. Northwest media means Color Plus, Star, Hindi, Sony, they're very, very costly. Whenever you talk to the brand team, बोलेंगे इधर ad चलाना बड़ा मुश्किल है because it's like a huge amount of expenditure, right? So how do you create demand? My GSK products were primarily Horlicks, mothers, women's Horlicks, health products. So we found out Bihar में round about कम से कम उस time में there were 5,000 coacs. जो रूरल डॉक्टर्स होते हैं इनकी कोई डिग्री नहीं होती, वो साइकिल लाके जाते रहते हैं, दवा देते रहते हैं. We kind of engaged them, educated them about the products, उनको incentive दिए, now they were selling my own Horlicks products. And that's like a quasi doctor selling the mother's Horlicks to a pregnant woman कि ये आपके ये फायदा है. So perfect detailer for me which I got. So you can use n number of innovative methods when you go to a rural market. This is just an example, similar to a money example which I already did.
So what term was used for those doctors in your organization? Were you open
They
to
are
say
quacks
yeah,
only.
quacks or?
They are quacks only. They are
But they're
quacks.
treated as doctors by the rural people.
Right, that's not saying they are treated as doctors, but they are quacks only. They don't have any degree. Right. So this is just one of the innovative methods which you can. And different products will have different kind of things. Of course, heart activation, male activation, वो सब करेंगे. But actually taking your product to the doorstep of a consumer, because he will go to the house of the consumer, detail the product, उसको कोई antibiotic देगा, कुछ देगा. Then your product making it right into the household. You are not waiting outside on a pole पे कुछ coding लगा के advertisement नहीं कर रहे हो. Your product is making in awareness point of view inroad into the household.
And there's got to be a lot of trust also.
Right, and a health product will need, so it has to be a perfect match also. Then there's huge availability of the local brands, which we saw, I think. So every product has a big brand, right? And somewhere it's actually linked because the fact that they are willing to buy the category, they are willing to use the product, the trial which I talked about. So if you are not present at the right price as to you, your big brand or your local brand will be present. So ultimately linked to that. if you are present as a brand, bigger company, MNC, at the right price and SKU, the B brand will not be able to enter. They are present because you are not there, technically. I'm just giving a vague argument, but by and large this works. Then again, right price, right SKU, right scheme, MRP concepts, so this will have to right. Laga do sir, bas lana shuru karo. Okay. Bottom line, and this is perhaps which summarizes all the three, availability is the key. You all know we are in a sales and distribution, right? Hardly yesterday, whatever the number of stores visited, I'm sure all of us have round on different companies. Some companies will have 50 SKU, some companies will have 100 SKU, not more than 5, 6 were present, even in an outlet where the brand was present, right? Just imagine from that point of view. So what's the huge opportunity sitting there?
And to add to that, we had Amway. We had a customer who was buying Amway. We had a lady in a discussion. No, Amway Khalid Brain Sisters, because it is there, only cosmetic shop. Today. Dono sisters, Amway, but the business
Also now is got
really would not buy.
So one more example. See, in terms of the, let's say in terms of similar things to heart activity or whatever you do. So let's say for example, 5 years back we started something called, I'm sure you will be aware of Horlicks Swasthya Abhiyan. So it's basically you tie up with the village panchayat, sarpanch, and on a school day you take all the school students, educate them about what Horlicks is all about, Mother's Horlicks is all about. सारे village के जो key influencers होते हैं आप उनको बताते हो. It's a very low cost program and kind of replicated. So it's like a kind of a sampling without actually making the users take the product. It's about building the awareness of the brand, educating them, and then tying up with the elders of the community who are actually living there, taking their influencing. And they will also in turn become your brand endorsers over a period of time if you keep on doing it over a regular period of time. These are actually very low cost programs. And you just need to find one celebrity. So we tied up with Vidya Balan. Now she is anyway doing a lot of programs for government. Shauchalaya Bana, Falana Timkana, right? So it makes a perfect fit. And then you have to find that connect and then you can start doing that.
Sorry, आपके भी खाली आ गई.
आपने अभी थाली खाने के पहले कुछ और भी खाया एक्चुअली. नहीं, just you don't know.
So I just put some.
प्रसाद लेके आई हो. थाली की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती. साथ खाते हैं सुबह खाते हैं.
मुंह से खाना है कान से सुना ना छोटा. I will just present myself crux of our findings. There were some assumptions which we had before we went to these places, but we found something different. What we found? Basically, the females between the age group of 25 to 30 are looking for change, especially with their kids. They really want to bring change in family, in their food habits and everything. Secondly, females are becoming decision makers. They have say which brand they want, which product they want. And the favorite career which we found within the kids is army and police. Is their favorite career options they are looking for. These three things can be used very easily in communication strategy. So that I am looking for my organization perspective. Again, the pasta is the fastest growing snack category, and when we try to find out the reason behind it, basically in rural, they need a product cost effective and tummy filling. And this is the category, this is the one reason, because pasta is much cheaper than all noodles and other categories, and so they prefer it. And they have made Indianized or localized taste of this. And this is the fastest growing thing. And the major reason is this is economical to them.
He's talking about macaroni, not exactly pasta.
Macaroni pasta makes different difference. What they say? There's a difference. यहाँ macaroni किसको बोलते हैं? जो छोटा है, that is macaroni. शेप में है, that is pasta. That is the definition they have over here. So they call it pasta. I have written the word pasta only.
कभी तो mac and cheese, macaroni तो है, पास्ता कोचिंग वाला है.
मैकरोनी बंद हो गया सर, बहुत जलाया.
Corn and cheese.
One more thing, blended spice has made entry in kitchen. and which is the opportunity, like blended spice means chana masala and pav bhaji masala and all these categories have entered in kitchen. Yes. And I think regularly from 2 days we are just looking up on this.
The basic ones like the chole masala or the sambar masala, these are the two basic. And
Yeah.
South Indians are getting popular. The South Indian cuisine is getting popular here as well. Because North Indian तो जो घर पे मसाले तो बनाते हैं. Yeah, they bro.
Yes.
Basic
Different,
spices.
they're taking the party.
Maybe the basic spices, they are basically using the homemade one, but for these branded ones, they are buying the branded one, 100 gram or 200 gram.
The packed foods is coming in the kitchen or
Which brand?
MDS is the most popular. No, actually in this area, we met I think 6-7 household consumers, and everybody said MDS.
पूरा entire UP में Goldi is the.
But we were expecting this reply, but no one said. Everybody said MDS. This was surprising for
Goldi
me.
is very popular in the eastern
Central
and
UP.
eastern UP. The
Western part of it.
Yeah, western इतना नहीं है.
Western MDH.
So this gives you opportunity to enter with other basic spices or other things in the same category. The next is mobile availability is with every adult now. That is one thing, and the average monthly spend is around 200 rupees.
That you are checking.
Yes, please.
What?
And the one thing, just a minute. As you said, yes, definitely they are not using Facebook, they are not using WhatsApp and other things. But here, there is one chance, one opportunity. Bulk SMS in Hindi or local language can give you some advantage in conversation.
What we found was all the men definitely have a mobile. College going kids have a mobile. It is not necessary that the lady has a mobile or not. Some of them had, some of them did not. And husbands ka WhatsApp they were aware of. At least all the households that we went to, Facebook tha ya nahi tha, WhatsApp they were very keen on.
In our findings, 70% women are having mobile. They are on individual mobile.
Me